Hello, buddy, everybody. I wanted to do another video as a follow-up to the last video I did about Anita Fuentes and mainly Levi Price. Now, has anybody else out there watched all of Levi Price's videos and heard him say hundreds of times, that if you're a believer, you have to obey God and walk a holy, precious life in order to prove that you're saved, in order to maintain that you're saved. Because if you're not saved, according to them. Now, this is a really quick video. There are three verses actually, that show beyond a doubt that this is not true. 4 verses. Number 1, Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. And people will come back and say we're taking that out of context. No, it's quite clear, crystal clear in its intent and meaning. Romans chapter 11, verse 6, and Romans chapter 9, verse 30 are crystal clear. Now, the one that really pinpoints this, it really nails these people down to the table, is the Corinthian verses about when the Christians are resurrected, raptured, and taken to the Bema seat to be judged by Christ. Now, there's 2 verses for this. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 12 through 15. And 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10. Now, you people that are following Levi, read those verses I give. Put them in the proper context. Do not read verses that Jesus was telling the Jews pre-death, burial, resurrection, which was only meant for the Jews. He said himself twice, I've come only for the lost sheep of Israel. Do not take this to the Gentiles. He said it himself. Now, when you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 12 to 15, you see there are different groups. There's a layer to salvation. Now, there are going to be people there, according to Levi and his Lordship ilk, that could not possibly be there. They are believers, but they have lived their life doing works that are of no profit to God, no profit to Jesus. They did not work through the Spirit. They were not fellow workers. They lived carnal lives. You see carnal people that are saved, and one of them sleeping with a stepmother. He's saved, but he's cast out of the church. He'll be in heaven. He'll be resurrected, raptured. But anything he had earned as far as inheritance, crowns, or rewards is taken away from him and given to someone else. You cannot lose your salvation in this church age dispensation. It cannot be done. We are in God's hands, Jesus' hands, the Holy Spirit's hands. He begins the good work. He'll finish it. We'll be saved. Now, this whole living a holy, righteous life, I agree with that. It's volitional, though. You have to do it yourself. And that's for positional standing in heaven once you are resurrected and raptured. Where will you be in heaven? Will you be the rewards way up here, or will you be right here, like that old World War I movies of the biplane spiraling with flames and smoke coming out of it? There are going to be people in heaven like that just, in fact, probably the vast majority, me included, are going to be just skidding in there with our britches on fire. You cannot say you have to live a holy, righteous life for salvation. That is blasphemy. That's giving you the power of authority to save yourself over that of what Jesus did accomplished on the cross. By his sacrifice, by his wounds, we are healed. By his sacrifice, as God in flesh, the glory goes to him. That's why anyone with crowns will be casting their crowns at his feet. You take that away from him and give it to yourself and thinking you're maintaining your salvation once you become a believer. That's Lordship salvation. That is satanic. It is a cult. Flee from it, get away from it as fast as you can, and believe as you should. Realize that at the Bema seat, there's going to be people there that, according to Levi and his ilk, should not be there. All right, thank you. Bye.